When I think of Calvary, I think of the people. I think of the people who have poured years and years of their life and their resources into God's work at Calvary. People like the Jensens, who are charter members. They've been here from the very beginning. And I think of people who are pouring their lives into Calvary right now. And when I think of all the people, I'm almost overcome with gratitude. When I think of the people who are giving and serving and praying right now, some of you have been here over 30 years, and some of you have been here less than 3 years. And yet we're all part of the same story, the same vision. And I also think of people who have discovered God at Calvary. That's one of the things that gives us our greatest sense of joy, the life change that comes when people discover God. People have discovered God's calling here. Some have been called into missions, and some have been called to be pastors and business people and authors and teachers and parents and people who live and work all around the world. And when you think about it, that is so amazing.
My name is Kristen Arnold, and to me, Calvary means a group of people who share the love of Christ with those both inside and outside of the church. And one way that I've seen that is in my own personal life with Life Group and having a group of people who accept me for who I am, and also for the way that Calvary cares about the community. And in campus ministry, I've seen God draw a lot of hearts to Him, and it's been really cool to see Him transform hearts so that they can transform the hearts of others.
My defining moment actually started before my wife and I started attending Calvary. I remember this was back when I was teaching at Park Forest Middle School, and there seemed to be a buzz in the halls from the teachers about something that was in our mailbox. And as teachers, you usually don't get too many exciting news in the mailbox. So as I went to the office, I checked out my mailbox and I found there was a letter in there from a Calvary Baptist church, and more specific from a Dan Knoll. And as I went on to read it, it was a letter encouraging us and supporting us and appreciating us and what we were doing for the children in the community of State College. At the time, back then, the popular trend amongst Christian families seemed to be private Christian schools and homeschooling. So for the teachers to hear from a church and even a pastor that we were doing things well and he appreciated what we were doing, I think was a powerful statement.
My name is Lauren Koistra, and I have been a part of Calvary for about 4 years now. And God has used Calvary to do a lot of healing work in me. When I first came here, people were in place to just pray with me and pray for me and to counsel me and to just teach me the truth about who God is.
When we think of Calvary, there's 3 things that really jump out at us. One of them is unity, another one's generosity, and a third one is prayer. Calvary's really taught us about unity, and Calvary's a place where people don't really care where you go to church, but we just want people to be impacted by the love of God and Jesus Christ, and Calvary really focuses on that, and we're thankful for that. Calvary's also a place of generosity, and God has taught us so much about that through Calvary, and especially through the 1% offering and how God blesses our generosity and just works in our hearts to know Him better when we're generous people. And then finally, Calvary's a place of prayer, and Calvary has just had such a huge impact on our lives, especially when Jedediah had Kawasaki syndrome. So many people at Calvary prayed for Jed, and Kawasaki syndrome is something that can really damage a child's heart. And Jed just recently had his 2-year checkup, and his heart is 100% perfect, and we really believe that that's because of the people at Calvary who prayed for him, and we're so thankful for that.
My name is Heather Holloman. And Calvary, to me, is a place that I can invite all of my neighbors, and I love having a place that I know when I bring them to church, they're gonna experience Jesus and they're going to encounter Him, and the gospel will be preached, and they're gonna experience some authentic community.